I would like to call the Tuesday, May 28, 2024 Blue Springs Planning Commission meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Ebersol?
Here.
Commissioner Howe?
Here.
Commissioner Stokenberry? Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Sanderson?
Here.
Commissioner Henning?
Here.
Commissioner Graham? Commissioner Rohr?
Present.
Chairperson Craddock?
Present. Thank you and welcome everyone this evening and those watching from home. Tonight's agenda consists of Item 1A, the minutes from the April 24th Planning Commission meeting. Item 2, site plan design review for Hudson Estates. Item 3, election of officers. Item 4, other business. And Item 5, adjournment. At this time, I would entertain a motion on the consent agenda for the approval of the May 13th, 2024 meeting minutes.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Smith. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Sanderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carried. The next item on the agenda is Agenda Item 2, Site Plan Design Review, SPDR-04-24-9109 for Hudson Estates. At this time, I will ask for the staff's presentation, Mr. McCumber. I'm sorry, Mr. Mc... I don't know, it's like he's here today.
Just a little switcheroo on you. Apologize for that.
The name and the face.
Yeah, Dave is not here this evening, so I'm presenting on his behalf. Mike Mallon, 903 West Main Street, on behalf of the city. Apologize, we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way with no screens or presentations, so we can follow along with our paper agendas and staff reports. I'll try to do my best. So, this is a request for a site plan design review for Hudson Estates, which is a 60-unit single-story apartment complex on 15.27 acres of land off of 7 Highway, just to the east of what will be, or just east of 7 Highway, and on either side of what will be Hudson Drive, which will connect 7 Highway to Adams Dairy Parkway. The preliminary plat for this project was approved by the Planning Commission on March 25th, 2024, and a general development plan was approved by City Council on April 1st, 2024. The existing land use of the site is vacant. It is undeveloped. Sits just north of Eagles Ridge subdivision, the single-family portion, and just south of Cordell Mason Elementary School. The proposed land use is multifamily housing, which is allowed by right in the MF14 zoning district, which is currently on the property. The building type is apartment complex, and the 15.27 acres will be divided into 2 lots. Approximately 60% of both lots are being developed at this time, and the remaining balance, which is to the east, will be developed in the future. So the site plan design review application is a more detailed look at the proposed development than the general development plan, which sets a general conceptual outline of how the property will be developed and site layout and parking. The site plan design review delves into more detailed landscaping and buffer requirements, site lighting, and building architecture, as well as parking. Staff reviewed the proposed application and finds that it does meet all of the landscaping, buffering requirements, open space requirements. The site lighting plan included does meet all of the photometric requirements for site lighting to ensure no light spills over from the property, and that adequate light is provided in the parking lots. The proposed architecture matches that from the general development plan, is a good design with high quality materials, masonry, and siding with asphalt shingled roofs. It is a single story design, 4 and 6-plex buildings. If you turn to page, I don't even have a page number with my packet. It would be page C2, which is the the overall site plan. Shows Hudson Drive coming in, splitting the property in half, essentially with the road connecting over to the left on 7 Highway and over to the east to the Eagles Creek subdivision, and then Hudson Drive continues further to the east to eventually connect to Adamsbury Parkway. Hudson Drive will be constructed from 7 Highway all the way to the eastern boundary of this site with this first phase of development. The apartment buildings are generally split half on the north side of Hudson Drive and half on the south side. Amenity building is located on the north side, on the eastern portion of the site, an amenity space, and a community building. All of the parking is being provided and meets the code and the general development plan. Again, all of the building setbacks comply with code. Landscaping has been provided and is of good quality and buffers not only the buildings along Hudson, but also to the east, to the west, excuse me. And then there is a tree buffer existing tree buffer that is being maintained along the southern portion of the property. That was presented to the Planning Commission during the preliminary plat and general development plan, and that is being carried through. So staff reviewed this site plan design review application against all of the requirements of the Unified Development Code, against the approved preliminary plat and the approved general development plan, and finds that it is in substantial compliance with all of those approvals. And therefore staff recommends approval of the site plan design review. I'm happy to answer any questions. The applicant is here as well to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mountain. Are there any questions for the staff from the commission?
Is there any fencing or anything that's going to separate the back of this to the school? Or is it just going to be open land?
There is no fencing that's being proposed at this time that I'm aware of. In the future, this was shown during the preliminary plat and in the general development plan, which were the applications that preceded this. So let me go back to that a little bit. So this first phase will be the apartment complex. The future phase of phase 2 will be the balance that is to the east, which is kind of shown as left undeveloped. One of the conditions of approval of that is that a connection will be made up to the property line so that a future second point of access can be installed by the school district for Cordell Mason Elementary. So that would be on the east side, but I believe, and the applicant could speak to this a little bit more, the concept is more of an open concept. These are going to be senior houses or senior apartments and income restricted apartments, and so I think they're going for more of that open feel with the landscaping and the tree buffer. So
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any other questions for staff? Thank you. Okay, at this time, would the applicant like to come forward and speak? Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Okay. Good evening, Kyle Miller, 1000 West Nifon Boulevard, Columbia, Missouri. I am Kyle Miller with Crockett Engineering on behalf of the applicant tonight, Mako Development. With me tonight is Dan Sanders with Mako Development. And so we don't have a formal presentation for you tonight. Looks like we planned accordingly. But so with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions, though, or anything else that we can answer for you. So let us know.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commission for the applicant? Well, I guess you're free to go. Thank you very much.
All right,
I
thank you.
appreciate that. Any further discussion from the commission? I will now ask for a motion on the site plan design review.
Sure.
I have a motion from Commissioner Rourke.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the site plan design SPDR 04249109 Hudson Estate, east of 7 Highway and south of Cordell Mason Elementary School.
Thank you, Commissioner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carried with 6 staff conditions. Well, now we'll get to the election of the officers. Mr. Mallon, I don't know if you want to chime in and say something here before we make a nomination, or?
Nope, I guess just a little introduction, per the rules and procedures adopted by the city council for the, planning commission, and in keeping with state statute, the planning commission is one of the few boards and commissions at the city that elects its own chairman, and vice chairman, or, secretary as it's denoted under the, state statutes. And so because of that, it is, up to you to, nominate and then vote upon a chair. Chair Cradoff has served in that role for the last 2 years consecutively, and therefore is not eligible to do that again per those new rules and procedures that were recently adopted by City Council a few years ago. So, thank you for your wonderful service as chair of the commission.
Thank
And,
you, Mr. Mallon. It's been wonderful.
And so, the last time we did this, I think we had nominations from any of the commissioners, and then there was a vote, and I think if we had a situation where we had 2 commissioners nominated, then it would just be kind of a roll call vote of which commissioner you would vote for chairperson and then for vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mallon. In that case, I'll open up the nominations, and I'll start by mentioning that I'd like to nominate the vice chair, Commissioner Rohr.
Okay, so I would, I talked to Mike about, and I do apologize for not everyone knowing this, but I do have some other commitments that have come up, and I talked to Mike, I think about a couple of weeks ago, that, and I enjoyed serving here, and I'm not upset or anything. It's just that I'm serving on 2 other ones right now that has taken up a lot of my time. And so I'm gonna have to step aside and go do my other ones, if that's okay.
We
So-
totally understand.
So I do apologize.
Thank you for sharing that with
Yeah,
us.
no problem.
Well, I guess my other nomination would be Commissioner Henny. Does anybody else have a choice? Does anybody want to nominate anyone? So how do you feel about that, Commissioner?
What just happened?
You've been nominated.
I would accept it if, we don't have a full board here or full commission, but, if called to serve, I would, or I would do vice chair if somebody else wants to nominate for chair.
So Mr. Mallon, you want to chime in on that?
Well, we only have 7 members present. Commissioners Stokenberry and Graham were not able to be here tonight, so feel free to nominate them. That's kind of how it works, right? No, it's completely up to, if he can not, Commissioner Henning cannot want to be chair if he doesn't want to be, but if somebody wants to nominate him as vice chair, we could do vice chair first too. It's kind of at the pleasure of the commission.
Well, Commissioner Henning, I'd better ask you, is there a preference?
There is no preference. I will, serve where called.
Very good. Well, I cast my nomination for you as chairman, if you would accept. And if any of the other commissioners would like to chime in and add something here, feel free to at this time.
And nobody else wants a job?
Nope.
It's a
Good
solid
choice.
selection.
Well, in that case, I'll ask for a motion to nominate Commissioner Henning as our next chair.
Chair,
Commissioner Rohr.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Mr. Haney for the chair, for the commissioner.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Sanderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, I'll ask for a nomination for the vice chair. Does anybody have any suggestions here? If no one has any suggestion, I would nominate Commissioner Howe, if he would accept.
Certainly. Thank you.
Very good. Is there anyone else that is?
Don't make me come down there.
Please show up every day, will you?
Well, I guess I'll ask for a motion for Commissioner Howe to be our next vice chair.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Henning. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second again from Commissioner Sanderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Other business. Does the staff have any other business for us today?
We do not. Well, actually, I do. I would like to introduce our new planner, Chantel Fry, sorry. I go back and forth. Chantel Fry, she just started last Monday. Comes to us from Excelsior Springs, where she's been a planner for the past 2 years. So we're very excited to have her aboard. She is filling the role that was recently vacated by Jamarcus McGee. And also wanted to let the Planning Commission know that Adair Bright, our senior planner, is no longer with the city. She's taken a job at the City of Lee Summit. So we have another planner job opening, which we hope to fill here in the near future. So while we are certainly excited to have new faces aboard, please bear with us as we help them get up to speed. And so you're going to see a lot of Mr. McCumber and me for a little while. But we're going to, there's no better time to learn than while on the job. So we're very excited about what Chantel brings, and she'll be presenting up here shortly.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Does the commission have any other business? If there is no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Henning. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Smith. This meeting is adjourned. Good night.